Good morning, class. Good morning, sir. Alright, welcome back to class. This morning we'll be looking at the topic called audience appreciation. Can you say that with me? Audience appreciation. Audience appreciation. You know, our previous topic we talked about file management. And we talked about different file formats and reasons why we need to convert from one format of file to another. But today we'll be looking at an interesting topic, audience appreciation. As ICT solution providers in the making that you are, whatever ICT solution you want to create, you have to bear in mind those people that will use it. And I think that's where the issue of user interaction, user interface comes from. But the first thing you need to know is to understand who will be your audience. Who are those people that will use the solution you are creating? And that's why this topic is relevant and very important. Thank God we're in the age of internet of things, ICT, whatever profession you want to do, be a medical doctor, you will use some solutions. And many of you would rather go into computer full. You need to bear in mind that you have to understand those people that will use your solution. And that is why we are looking at audience appreciation. So let us look at the objective of this lesson very quickly as we look at other parts. At the end of this lesson, we'd like you to understand and research your clients. You may wonder that you are not yet business people, but of course, your clients as students could be your parents, could be your classmates, could be your neighbor, your siblings. Whatever solution they give to you to do for them, you have to research before starting to create any presentation, any solution for them. And you should also consider legal, moral, ethical, and cultural aspect of any work you produce. And also, you should note that you don't need to infringe copyright law. These are the objectives of this lesson. So very quickly, let us look at critical thinking focus. The focus is talking about whatever we are doing today. You have to bear in mind that we are going to be problem solvers, and we cannot do that except we are thinking critically and creatively. So for that, we will research and justify strategies in solving non-routine problems. So when you have some clients that come to you, we want you to create an ICT solution and it is something totally new, what can you do? How can you do that? It doesn't have a formula. And that is why looking at critical thinking is very important. Now, class discussion. I know this topic might be somehow new to you, but the question is, should the internet be policed? Now, this is how we are going to do it, then, because I want us to think creatively and critically in providing solution or giving our own opinions. So, in that wise, I want people in this column to work together. People in this column work together. So you present someone that will speak for you. So this, you know what you are doing. This column, you know what you're doing. So we are going to welcome you. I'm giving you just 2 to 5 minutes. So think among yourself, come up with points, and come and defend whatever position you take. So let's do that and welcome you to present your opinions.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ezekiel Amarachi, and I want to talk on the topic: should the internet be policed? I agree with this. The internet should be policed because exactly you understand that the internet is a lot of opportunity and stuff. But the people tend to misuse the thing. In this generation, we have deviated from the main purpose of having the internet. The internet is supposed to help this generation, help humanity, and be of a good use to all other people around us. But we all seem to be focused on ourselves with this internet. I understand that we all have things we want to do personally, but we forget that we are also joining people in the world and in our society. It is not possible for us to reorientate who we are now or try to change the way we view how the internet is. But there's one thing we can do. We can police the internet. Yes, we can do that. That's something we can do. We can restrict what to do and what to say on the internet. It's not necessarily invading your privacy. No one is going to search for what you sent to someone. No one is searching for your emails. No one is searching for to other people around you. You might feel that, oh, I'm doing this for myself, but you don't know who else is affecting. Right? For example, let's take a very good scenario. I go on IG and I'm a random student and I don't like the government of Nigeria. And I also know that people around me don't like the government of Nigeria. We understand that maybe we might have some issues going on here and there, but you're supposed to also support your government. You're supposed to be patriotic. Other people will see the video and then they will feel like, oh my God, no, our government is bad, and then they will criticize us, not only the people around us, the people abroad, people that are going to see your family members near and far, they're going to see the videos and they're going to feel bad for our country, not knowing that we have good things in the country, and they will call our country a shit or call it things that we know that it's not what it is. That is why the internet should be policed. Some things like this should be restricted from the internet. And another thing is that the internet should be policed because we tend to, okay, there are opportunities on the internet. Yes, we get that. There are things, there have always been opportunities before the internet came. There have always been opportunities. The people, Charles Babbage, who made the computer, did not have the internet to do that. He made it with his head. He didn't have the internet to do that. Those who sew clothes, those who weave, those who do shoemaking, they don't have the internet to do all these things. We've lost our sense of creativity, that we don't even know what we are supposed to do by ourselves. We think that the internet is going to give us the answers to all our problems. Let's take a very good scenario. I have a problem with myself. Let's say I have a bipolar disorder. And then I go to the internet or I go to a Facebook account and I'm like, okay, I have a problem, you guys help me. And someone is like, oh, you can go and kill yourself. That is a problem that we have with the internet. It should be policed. We are also affecting others around us, and that's something we don't seem to realize. People are suffering from what you say, what you do, how you act, what you watch, what you even search for on the internet. People are suffering from these things, and here we don't seem to realize. So I hope that with what I have said, we've been able to realize that the internet should be policed. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Amarachi, for that. She has defended the point that the internet should be policed. But on the contrary, let us see what the other group have to say if the internet should be policed. So let us put our hands together as a welcome
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and my co-debaters. My name is SS Omokel, a student of SS2 Phase, and I'm here to oppose the motion which states that the internet should be closed. I know my opponent said that, oh, the bad boys on the internet and so on and so forth. But to me, yeah, I believe that restriction is just a situation that inspires creativity. Because who is stopping other people from going to hack all these things? And then I read a book that said something about talent not being enough. He was saying stuff like, oh, if Bill Gates was not born at a particular time, he might have ended up working for IBM and stuff like that, and he might not have founded Microsoft and stuff like that. I'm saying that people that want to have life-changing opportunities, if you take the internet away from them, what exactly are they going to have? You said something about, oh, you can learn sewing on your own and stuff like that. In a time like, okay, coronavirus period, quarantine period, we were at home and we were alone and we could not do anything. And the internet helped us learn how to cook. It helped me with simple harmonic motion. It taught us things that on a norm we won't be able to do in real life. And you said that people can go on the internet and say bad things about you. What is stopping them from also doing those things in real life? You cannot now say you want to police our existence. To me, I just believe like, what exactly are we even policing about the internet? Because you two came up with this idea about, oh, kids' videos should not be sponsored and so on and so forth. That is also reducing a means of livelihood for a group of people that depend on all those type of things. The internet should be policed, but what about the internet are we policing? Because even though Snapchat is policed, Instagram is policed, TikTok is also policed, but what is stopping hackers from doing? What is stopping people from having negative comments? To me, it's just restriction is just a reason for us to rise and take charge. Because you know what? We're teenagers, each and every one of us here. School will say don't do this, but it makes us like have that feeling, have that passion to go and disobey it. Yeah? And I feel like this is also, without policing the internet, I feel like humanity should be able to rise up and take charge and take responsibility. Because we cannot say that, oh, policing the internet will stop all our problems. Apart from the internet, there is still real life. What is stopping us from bringing in problem we have on the internet to facing into real life? So, ladies and gentlemen, without that, I know that I hope I am able to feed you and not brainwash you that the internet should not be police.
Well, striking a balance. I can't say as your teacher that the internet should be policed or not. But whatever the opinion will be, you have to give us your evidence. You have to give us your points why you think the internet should be policed or not. Now, to strike a balance, I welcome another student to come and give us another point or to add to the one they have given already why the internet should or should not be policed. So let's put our hands together as we welcome that man.
Good day, my fellow classmates. Emphasizing on what my chief speaker just said. First of all, what exactly, or sorry, rather, who exactly is policing the internet? You say you want the internet to be policed. In a school society, we have people who make rules. We have the proprietors, we have the principal, we have the vice principal. But in a community like the internet, right now, we can't even fix our finger on who exactly made the internet. And we want to police it. It doesn't really make much sense. Because these people, if you say, okay, for example, the world powers, the US government, okay, the US government still have crimes. They still have people in between them. For God's sake, the US presidents were just banned from social media a few months ago, and now we want to give them the power to police the internet. That doesn't make sense. Secondly, we're always saying, think outside the box. Think outside the box. How can you think outside a box that is closed? We want this internet to lead to different things. There is a bucket, we want the water to overflow out of the bucket, and we're putting a lid on the bucket. If you think deeply into it, it doesn't really make much sense. Thirdly, parents are responsible for their kids. Whatever a child does below the age of 18 is up to the parents. It's up to the parent. This likes of Bill Gates, the likes of George Bush, them, now they are the world leaders, now that people we keep hearing about, but they maximize their opportunity. You said that Bill Gates did not have the opportunity to have on the internet or something like that. But Bill Gates had other opportunities which he maximized. We that we have the internet, why can't you maximize the internet? If you put a cap on something that doesn't need to wear a cap, it won't just make sense. Everything will begin to fall apart. We look at ourselves next 30 years saying we want renewable energy, we want flying cars, we want this, we want that. Why are those things going to be learned? They're not going to be learned with pen and paper. No. There are programs that are series of programs and series of books that are online on the internet, and people begin to read, people begin to learn. For God's sake, one of the richest children in the world is just 7 years of age. He's 7 years of age, and where did he blow? Where did he blow, as we call it? He blew from YouTube. What does he do? He opens toys, he reviews the toy, and he gives feedback to his mates. How many of us go a day without looking towards the internet for something, for some sort of inspiration or something? Even if you look at religion, people go to the internet to post their videos, people go to the internet to do good things. So you can't just put a cap on what doesn't need a cap. Also, you have in a case, for example, someone is sitting down in his classroom. He doesn't have anything to do. This person can go to the internet. Sure, he can do bad things, but it's up to the individual effort. If you know what you want to be, you know where you're going, you will know the things you ought to do and things you ought not to do. But if you're walking on an aimless road, you keep walking and you begin to wander off. This wandering is prevented, it's caused by the fact that majority of our mates don't occupy themselves with the right thing. If our mates begin to occupy themselves with the right thing, such as lucrative things on the internet, we won't have any problems today. Thank you.
Okay, in closing, you guys have done wonderfully well today. And I want to appreciate all the students that have contributed before we begin to take contribution from the remaining students. Let us clap them. Alright, in case you have a one word or in a sentence you have one thing to contribute, either to argue for or against the motion that should the internet be policed, you're welcome. Let me see your hands up so that we can welcome one or two persons.
You mentioned that internet is policed, so I wanted to know how exactly the internet is policed and yeah.
Alright, thank you. Nifemi, want to say something to you?
No, the only real problem with that The points were very good, very valid points, but one of us didn't talk more. He spoke more about if the internet were to be taken down. His points felt more like if the internet were to be taken down and if it was actually to take the police. But apart from that,
All right, nice one. Toba. Oh, you're stretching. Good. Thank you. All right, this one I will say as we conclude this class. Now, there are a lot of rules, guidelines that we have already. One of it is netiquette. Now, that is the rules you follow while you interact with people on the internet. Those things you follow, the rules, the guidelines you follow while you interact with other people on the internet. Because the internet is bringing everybody together. Does not mean you can just say anything, anyhow, and to whoever. So I think for now, those are the provisions we have that can guide the use of the internet. But I don't want to close it that way. You are young people, and we are producing opportunities for you such that you can come with better options, better regulations. But if you think you can come up with better regulations, I will give it to you as an assignment. By our next class, come up with rules and regulations or things we can put in place, maybe as a society, as a community, as a school, as a country, or the world in general, that we can use to police the internet or to ensure that people saw the internet safely. I think that's the most important thing. So, as we close today, I want you all to give yourself a round of applause for being part of this class today. Thank you.